Hey guys, welcome back to the BuzWeaver channel, and in our top stories today, if not breaking news, the feud between Elon Musk and Donald Trump has the media ecstatic. Of course, the media being an extension of the Democrat Party, and the Democrat Party has been in miserable, dire straits here in the last, since essentially Donald Trump took office. But nonetheless, here on Ground News, you can see how the news is aggregated and separated. We see 40% left, 33% center, and 27% right. So obviously, this is touching on many different spectrums across the media cycle and across individuals who consume media. And of course, I like using Ground News because it aggregates and breaks it down, lets you know how the media is leaning. But in this case here, it is across the board with each particular one having their own say about what's going on. And of course, here on the BuzWeaver channel, we simply take the difficult, the complicated, the tumult, and the chaos, and we kind of break it down. Of course, a lot of it is, of course, just my opinion as a commentator. So, of course, you guys can look all the information up yourself and read it and draw your own conclusions. As I often try to tell people, it is simply one person's individual as a creator expressing my thoughts. Of course, you guys can always, arrive at your own conclusions. So, nonetheless, so this is how, in this particular story, how Ground News has broken that down. And, of course, if you go across the mainstream media, they couldn't be more ecstatic. They couldn't be more excited about what all is going on. And as I aggregate news throughout the day to bring you guys, typically you're going to see, like, just certain amounts of media from a particular search. But in this case, you can see it is across the board. It is uniformed. It is coordinated. They are all on the same script, all on the same level, as everyone here who has been on the BuzWeaver channel knows. So go ahead and hit that like button if you already know, as you do, that the media coordinates these things. And this is just one of those opportunities for them. Trump and Musk escalate public feud over agenda bill. Trump and Elon Musk trade insults and accusations as public feud reaches new heights, I guess is what it would be, or whatever. But nonetheless, guys, yeah, so this is the mainstream media Google search. And then if we go to the media searches and the media of organization, we come here to Mediaite, which is kind of the media outside of the Associated Press. And, of course, you can pause the video and read the various titles. Of course, they are obviously very hyperbolic. And but the comment sections are fairly low. But nonetheless, it is interesting that Mediaite, of course, taking the opportunity to stir the pot. We're going to start it off here with more conservative-style news here from the Daily Caller. Why is Elon Musk turning on Donald Trump? Big, beautiful breakup, they say. Elon Musk and Donald Trump took their differences public in a big way Thursday. Elon was bashing the big, beautiful bill. Trump threatened to take away his government contracts, and Elon implied Trump might be you see the word there. Things go crazy. What's the real reason Elon is breaking from his former best buddy, or as they say, a bromance? Today, Daily Caller editor-in-chief, of course. So in other words, if you guys want to check out the video, I started watching a little bit of it. You can see I was 8 seconds in. I could already see a lot of the the talk that they were talking. But we're going to just go through certain articles here. And, of course, as I said, you guys can draw your own conclusions because it kind of goes back and forth. And, of course, when it's this exaggerated, when when it's as sensationalized as it is, there's going to be all sorts of opinions. So a more conservative media outlet here, the Daily Wire. Trump says Musk just went crazy, threatens his government subsidies and contracts. President Donald Trump continued his tirade against his former senior advisor, Elon Musk, on Thursday, posting on social media that Musk just went crazy and threatening to strip government contracts with his companies. Trump posted about Musk on Truth Social as the Tesla SpaceX owner took to his social media platform, X, to call out the president for pushing the big, beautiful bill. The back and forth started when Trump told reporters in the Oval Office on Thursday that he was very disappointed with Musk's criticism of his signature piece of legislation. Elon was wearing thin. I asked him to leave. I took away his EV mandate that forced everyone to buy electronic cars that nobody else wanted, that he knew for months I was going to do, and he just went crazy, the president wrote. Now, if you stop by the BuzWeaver channel, you can see that we did a video on this. Elon Musk furious over big, beautiful bill. The media leverages a typical pork-filled boondoggle. And you guys can check that out. Some of you did. Other videos we're doing much better this week are trending because, of course, things are much, much different here on the BuzWeaver channel. But just wanted to stop by here on of course, below this video, you can find the various social media links that I belong to, so you guys can stop by and join me. For example, here on TikTok. Now, I wanted to bring up TikTok because here we have net favorable rating among the GOP, and you can kind of see where they rank. And Trump is at 79%, Musk is at 63%. So it may say that among the two titans, Trump still has much of the favorability and much of the clout, of course, because he is the president of the United States, plus you have all of MAGA behind him. But I just wanted to bring this up to you. I didn't make this. I don't think I've released it for the channel yet. I might be releasing it for a short on my channel. But as I've told you guys, I've been experimenting with so much stuff. So nonetheless, and we go over here to CNBC. So thank you guys for being patient and knowing that there's just a lot of content here that I want to go over. So we are now at CNBC. Musk says SpaceX will decommission Dragon SpaceX, as we read a minute ago. Then, of course, here's just more of the decommissioning. Musk announces on his social media, X escalating a war of words with Trump. SpaceX Dragon capsule brought in the two NASA astronauts, as we saw, because, yeah, a lot of the media didn't want to cover it because, of course, there was that argument also that under Joe Biden, he didn't want Elon to go up there and rescue the astronauts at that time because it may bring too much attention to the fact that Elon was a huge Trump supporter at that time. Now, but the way the two may be interacting with each other may be obviously much more exaggerated here by the media. And you can see trending now, as we saw earlier when I showed you Google search and Mediaite. Trump says Musk went crazy. Tesla loses 152 billion and market cap after Musk-Trump spat. So not really the best thing for either of the two. Well, I mean, like I said, it's not really going to be that harmful to either of them. This is just going to be one of those little spats that happens right now. Elon Musk on Thursday said that his company SpaceX will begin decommissioning its Dragon spacecraft immediately because of threats by President Donald Trump to cancel government contract with Musk's business. Musk's announcement on his social media site X came aimed at escalating war of words with Trump that began after Tesla CEO criticized the major tax bill being pushed by the Republican president. So as you know, the beef actually kind of started with the big, beautiful bill. So we're going to go over here to ChatGPT because I wanted to try to aggregate and break this down. Now, it couldn't give me like a point. It did give me a bullet point by point breakdown of the beef that both Trump and Elon have had with each other kind of in the background. But it started like all the way back in like 2020. But it is interesting here because as we can see here, Elon Musk's criticism of Tesla and former head of Department of Government Efficiency has been outspoken in his condemnation of the bill. He labeled it a disgusting abomination, as we covered in the video that you can find obviously right here. And spending and the projected 2.5 trillion increase in the federal deficit over the next decade. Musk also took issue with the bill's removal of clean energy tax credits, which adversely affects the electronic vehicle and renewable energy sectors. Of course, we know about the EV stuff that was going on, and they were still asking, I think it was 𝐀𝐻𝐸𝐴 Jeffers the other day about EV. They were asking somebody about EV. I think it was Michael Johnson. I think is what they were asking. He accused the bill of favoring traditional energy industries by He accused the bill of favoring traditional energy industries by maintaining oil and gas subsidies while cutting incentives for EVs and solar energy. So you can kind of see a little bit more of the nitty-gritty. So in summary here, both Rand Paul and Elon Musk opposed the big, beautiful bill due to concerns over fiscal responsibility and policy priorities. And of course, I did have it look up Rand Paul as well to see what was going on there. And then we come over here to X. Of course, you guys know down below this video, you can find the various social media links that I belong to. X is one, and of course, TikTok as well. In light of the president's statement about canceling my government contracts, SpaceX will decommission, as we've heard several times. The easiest way to save money in our budget, billions and billions of dollars, is to terminate Elon's government subsidies and contracts. I was always surprised that Biden didn't do it. But of course, it was the Biden administration that went with all of these particular energy things, which is why they canceled, It was just why he signed the executive order to cancel what Trump had created with the energy independence. I'm sorry, guys, if I sound a little extra distracted today. There is so much going on in the background. I pray that you guys can't hear the cacophony of things that are going on in the background. I'm trying not to get too distracted by it, but it is very irritating. But nonetheless, and we come over here to Reuters. Trump-Musk public feud escalates. NASDAQ falls. Tesla and then Donald Trump tumble. So President Trump threatens on Thursday to cut off government contracts. We know this. Feud, which exploded its spectacular fashion over the course of the past few hours, pushed shares of electronic vehicle maker Tesla. And then, of course, we just read some of this stuff. So there's really nothing particularly new in this article from Reuters. And then here on X, we see some of the posts that are being exchanged here. Trump and Elon Musk at each other's throat since a couple of days. Let's see a little bit of what Donald Trump had to say here on Right Side Broadcasting.
And, Elon's upset because we took the EV mandate and, which was a lot of money for electric vehicles. And, they're having a hard time, the electric vehicles. And they want us to pay billions of dollars in subsidy. And, Elon knew this from the beginning. He knew it for a long time ago. That's been in there. That's been, I would say, JD, that hasn't changed. That's been right from the beginning. Mr. Secretary, that hasn't changed at all, right from the beginning. But I know that disturbed him. He wanted, and rightfully, he recommended somebody from that he, I guess, knew very well. I'm sure he respected him, but to run NASA, and I didn't think it was appropriate. And he happened.
So there's little bit of back and forth, going back and forth. Of course, people have taken to AI here to make their own little illustrations. And we see here Trump Musk feud publicly escalates over spending bill. Who? Donald Trump. And then what declared all-out war on President Trump via post on X. And, of course, as we can see here, we're seeing all that. So, yeah, the stammering and the stuttering here is because the background noise is so distracting right now. Not distracting like I can't keep my concentration very well, but it's just overwhelmingly irritating and annoying. So I apologize, guys, for that, but I did want to make sure that this and here's what's going to happen. As soon as I finish the video, it's going to go dead quiet. Nothing's going to be going on as soon as I finish this video. But nonetheless, guys, I do welcome your thoughts and comments down in the comments section. What are your thoughts on this? Is this going to be an overblown situation? Is this just the continuing exaggeration and sensationalizing by the mainstream media to create, just this rift that they want to create between the two individuals that they don't like? They don't like Donald Trump, and, of course, they don't like Elon Musk either. But I do welcome your guys' thoughts and opinions down in the public section. Of course, you can pause it at any point to read any of these particular titles. But I found it kind of fascinating and wanted to break this out to you guys as soon as I could. Despite what all is going on in the background, despite me having waiting for some of these things to kind of pass by. But it is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. As a content creator, we have to deal with these things all the time. But nonetheless, thank you so much across NewTek, BitChute, Rumble, and Odyssey for your guys' continued support. And, of course, everyone here on YouTube for your guys' continued support here in 2025. Appearing there on the screen, that'd be the channel icon. You guys can click on that to subscribe, as well as to select notifications that we know as content here on the channel. And I'll see all you guys in the next video.